Hey, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. Today I want to show you a saturation plugin of Logic Pro X. And now when you hear that and you think, wait a moment, Logic has no dedicated saturation plugin. Well, you have some distortion boxes of the pedal board, you can use an amp. However, you can use a tape delay plugin to create a tape saturation, because when you take away the delay of the tape delay, all you have left is the character of the tape heads that are modeled in this plugin. So let me show you now here on this drum track what you can achieve with this plugin. So let's go to delays, tape delay, and fire it up. And with the new update it looks like that. So what we don't want to hear is any delay, so we just take it away completely, decrease delay time to 0, and also in this section, the feedback section, you want to have it to 0. So that's about it. Let's change now the output to completely wet, because we just want now the character of the tape heads. And now you have many different options. You probably can set it to clean. You can try diffuse, which has a little bit a different character to the distortion. I would leave the spread knob alone, it sounds really weird with that. And here is now the clip threshold where you get the saturation. And when you use it in another setup, like with completely dry and a little bit of wet, you can dial in a certain frequency range that the saturation affects. So let's try now just the wet setting and play just the drums. So let's turn it up a little bit. And now with clean. A little bit less. So without. So you immediately can hear a little bit more crit to the drums. And now let's check out when you use it in a dry setting and just with a little bit of wet. And let's lower the threshold a little bit more and dial in a certain frequency. So most of the time when you have just small speakers, you don't get enough low end, or you don't hear enough low end. So you really want to make the drums a little bit more stick out, a little bit more pop. And a cool technique by that is to use a little saturation in the upper frequencies. In the upper frequencies, I mean here around maybe 500 to 6K. Let's try that for a moment. Make it completely oversaturated. Now let's turn the wet down and the dry up, and bring down slowly the wet up again. Starts to kick in. Okay, that's too much. So you probably can play around with that endlessly. I think that's a really cool and neat technique when you don't have a third-party saturation plugin. And let me show you now what you can also do on the master bus, which is here my saturation kind of Logic bus. And let's check out what we can do here. Now let's disengage it here. For example, I have here also the delay taken away, and I have it here in the full wet mode with the clip threshold to -6, and the frequency range is here now from 20 to 20,000 Hertz. So I really want the whole frequency range saturated. So let's listen now to that without and then with. Let's lower the threshold. So that's way too much. This sounds pretty cool to me. What you can also do now is to overemphasize, or to make it also a little bit more kind of compressed. The compressor, the stock Logic compressor, has a pretty good kind of analog tape compression setting. It's the platinum analog tape. You fiddle a little bit around with the threshold, the input and the output gain. Get a really pleasing sound, so let's engage that. Firstly without and then with. Right, so those two plugins together are kind of what a tape back in the days did. You had a saturation, so it gives you a little bit of character, a little bit of distortion, third harmonic distortion, and also with the compressor kind of simulates the tape compression itself. So when you have a pretty hot signal going into tape, it compresses it naturally. And with those two plugins together, you can kind of mimic it. And let's also bring a channel EQ in that, and I just dialed in a little bit of a high frequency boost around 12,000 hertz, sorry. So let's check it out without and then with. So this is just one thing I mostly always do to my mix bus, to add a EQ. And normally, as you can see here on this mix bus down there, I have waves plugins always on my mix bus. First of all, the SSL comp from Waves. Then secondly, EQ, which is the PUIC, so a Pultec EQ, also with a 12,000 hertz bump, a little bit of boost, and also tape saturation, which is the J37 here, the Abbey Road classic, as probably everyone know. And just for the sake of it, let's compare those two different plug-in chains, how they sound to each other. So let's start with the Logic and then to the Waves and back again and so forth. All right? Right, so as you probably hear, there's really not that much of a difference. I mean, the wave plugins have all a distinctive sound because they're modeled after the classic hardware, and you also hear it when you drive them a little bit more. But I'm really impressed that you can create sound, especially a saturated sound, with the stock Logic plugins. So you probably won't need for every single instance that you use, or on every single track, a dedicated third-party plugin. You can also do that with a stock Logic plugin. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'm also curious what you think about it, so just let me know. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.